Fog rolling low, the hum of distant traffic fading into a thick tension you can almost touch. For a full 40 seconds, the camera lingers on the headlights of a sleek black car slowly turning into a secluded apartment complex in downtown Shanghai. Fans freeze. The internet freezes. Because the moment the driver's door opens, the silhouette is unmistakable. Tall frame, familiar stride, cap pulled low, but not low enough to hide the face millions know. Dylan Wang. And he's not heading to a studio. He's not heading to an event. He's walking straight into the building where Shen Yue has been staying for the past few days.
No cameras. No entourage.
Just him. Alone. At 12:47 a.m. This is the moment that sets everything on fire. And tonight, we're diving into the story that fans are calling the late-night truth that changes everything. What happened inside that building? Why did Dylan show up at that exact hour? And why did Shen Yue choose that same day to go completely silent online? The closer you look, the less it feels like coincidence, and the more it feels like something planned, something secret, something explosive. It all begins earlier that evening. Shen Yue was spotted leaving HI6 Studios looking visibly shaken, avoiding eye contact, clutching her coat like she was holding herself together. Paparazzi caught flashes of her face, eyes red, breathing unsteady, someone whispering beside her. "Are you okay?" She didn't answer. She didn't smile. She didn't wave. She just disappeared into a waiting car. And within minutes, social media erupted with theories. Was she upset because of a scene? Was she overwhelmed from filming? Or was it something or someone else? While fans tried to decode her sudden emotional shift, Dylan was miles away finishing a closed-door meeting. Witnesses say he walked out looking tense, jaw set, shoulders tight, checking his phone repeatedly like he was waiting for one message, one call, that never came. He headed straight to his car, ignoring assistance, ignoring questions, ignoring the world entirely. Something was pulling him, and he wasn't hiding it. Hours later, when most people were asleep, he arrived at Shen Yue's building. Security cameras caught a moment that fans still can't stop talking about. Dylan pauses at the entrance, hesitating. He presses a code. Waits. Looks up to the balcony. Then walks inside, like he had been there before. Like he knew exactly where he was going. But here's where it gets even stranger. Two neighbors reported hearing a door open down the hall, followed by low voices, one male, one female. They didn't argue. They didn't shout. But the tone was intense. One neighbor said the energy felt like something that had been building for a long time finally breaking open. They didn't stay long at the door, but they caught one sentence, spoken by a man who sounded a lot like Dylan. "You can't keep shutting me out like this." The fans who heard this clip online, they lost their minds. Inside the apartment, the tension was thick enough to cut. Shen Yue, still shaken from earlier, had been trying to process something alone. Something she didn't want the world to see. Something she didn't want him to see. But Dylan showing up made that impossible. He wasn't there for convenience. He wasn't there by accident. He was there because whatever happened between them, whatever caused her silence and his urgency, had reached a breaking point. For 15 minutes there was nothing. No movement. No raised voices. Just stillness behind the door. And then something changed. A soft thud. Light footsteps. A moment of silence, so sharp it felt like the air was holding its breath. Then the door opened just a crack. Dylan stepped out first, his face unreadable but softer. Calmer. As if something heavy had shifted inside him. He didn't leave immediately. He stood there, turning back toward the apartment, saying something quietly. Something no one caught. Something that made Shen Yue appear behind him, wrapped in a blanket, eyes wet but no longer afraid. Fans zoomed, enhanced, overanalyzed every pixel, but the truth in that moment is something nobody expected. Dylan gently touched her shoulder. Just once. Quick. Subtle. But undeniably real. And she didn't pull away. Before he left, Shen Yue whispered something. Only one word was clear. Wait. He did. And that's where everything becomes a cliffhanger, because after that single word, the hallway camera suddenly cut to static for a full 23 seconds. When the video resumed, Dylan was gone. Shen Yue was back behind her door. And the world had 23 seconds of mystery that could mean everything or nothing. For the next 12 hours, both stars stayed completely silent online. No posts. No staff confirmations.
No explanations.
Just silence feeding speculation. And fans, unable to sit still, began piecing together every clue, the tension, the timing, the visit, the whisper, the touch, until the internet formed one burning question. What really changed that night? Because here's the truth. When two people who share history, chemistry, pressure, rumors, and unresolved emotions collide at midnight behind closed doors, something shifts. Something unspoken breaks open. Something that had been hidden becomes impossible to hide. And now, the only thing fans want to know is what happens next. Will they address it? Will they deny it? Will they pretend nothing happened? Or will this late-night visit mark the moment their story, whatever it truly is, finally steps out of the shadows? But until they speak, one thing is certain. The world will never see Dylan Wang and Shen Yue the same way again. Because after that night, nothing is the same. And this is only the beginning.